Okay, now we're going to season our flour for our batter for the chicken. I have some pepper here. I apologize, I am not measuring. Some paprika to add some color because paprika really doesn't have a whole lot of flavor to it. I'm going to add in some garlic. A little bit of turmeric because y'all know I love turmeric and it has a lot of nutritional benefits to it. I'm going to add some onion powder. And some sea salt. And I'm just going to give that a nice little whisk. Get all those flavors throughout that flour. And I will come back to it once the chicken has been diced and ready to be battered. Okay, so this is our chicken for the fried chicken salad that I'm going to be making. It's just some chicken breast tenderloins. And I am going to be chopping these up into small cubes or squares. There is a trick for getting this strip out of the chicken. I don't remember it, so I'm going to do my best just to get that out of there, but I don't think I can. So, it's giving me a hard time, so I'm just going to chop these up into some squares. I like just some bite-sized pieces to go on the salad. And coming off a bit better once I actually have the chicken cut. Yep. So here's my chicken, nice and chopped. So here I have the egg bath that I made. It's just 2 eggs and some extra creamy oat milk, and I'm just gonna go ahead and place the chicken in there while the vegetable oil is getting hot in my cast iron skillet. And once that has soaked, I'm just going to go ahead and transfer it over into the seasoned flour batter that I have for it. and get it all fried up. So now I'm just going to test my my oil. It may not quite be ready to go. So I'm just going to let that go a few more minutes, and by the time I actually transfer my chicken to my batter and get that all battered up, it should be good to go. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just place my chicken over. I'm going to use the tongs because that's going to be a bit faster. Just get the chicken over. I need the other tongs, but I don't have any of those, so I'm using this. And it's fighting me a bit, but it'll do the trick. Going to give that a nice good toss inside of that flour batter, get it all nice and battered up. And it doesn't matter if it gets a bit clumpy, because that's what's going to add to the actual crunchiness and add some extra texture to the chicken. So that's fine by me. Now, if you want, you could actually transfer this to a Ziploc bag, or, you know, some type of bag to get it nicely coated. But I just use this tray because for representation purposes. So I think I've got everything pretty nicely coated in there. I want to make sure I can get in between anything that doesn't have any coating, and even if it doesn't, it'll still be perfectly fine. So I'm not going to put all of this chicken in the pan at once. I'm probably just going to do half at a time because I don't want it to clump. I don't want it to undercook or overcook. So I've got everything nice and coated there. So what I'm going to do now is, my oil should be nice and hot, and I'm just going to transfer my chicken over, half of this chicken over. There we go. Do this quickly. So your kids will probably like this if you have young kids too. These can just be some chicken nuggets, and you can get them some, you know, barbecue sauce or sweet and sour sauce or whatever they like to eat with their chicken nuggets. So I had a taste for a salad today, and I didn't feel like going by Zaxby's and spending that money for it. So I already had some romaine in the fridge, some tomato. So I just said, you know what? I'll go home and make my own. Yeah. So gonna move that around a bit so it doesn't get stuck or clumpy. And it's cooking really quickly because it's like in small little bite sizes, so it won't take long. But I'm gonna let this cook about 10 minutes each batch, and I will come back after the chicken is all fried up. Okay, so the first batch is already nice and fried up, has a nice color to it. Over here for the draining and straining process, all I did was I got one of my baking pans, and I put the racks inside of it, and I also put some napkins on top to kind of soak up any extra grease. So I'm just going to be using this spoon, trying to get a lot of that grease off, get our chicken transferred over. And that has a very nice crisp to it. I am pleasantly pleased with how it turned out. I think that egg batter really does make a difference. It really, really does. So if you have young children, 2 to 3 children, this is a very affordable way to get them that snack size meal that kids love for a fraction of the price. So I like to try to get as much of these little extra crisp out of the pan so that they don't continue to fry and burn when I'm making my second batch. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give my second batch another little toss in the flour there to get them unstuck to one another. And I'm going to go ahead and get them quickly inside of this grease so that the grease doesn't continue to fry them or burn on its own as well. So our chicken is done and it is beautiful. And now I'm just going to go ahead and assemble my salad. Okay, so now I'm just going to put my bed of romaine on. I usually add some spinach, but in this particular case, I am not going to put any spinach. Go ahead and put my tomato. I want a few olives on there. You can cut up some onions if you'd like as well. I'm going to put some chicken on. Now, if you like, you can definitely chop these up as small as you want so that you can get your chicken in each bite and it not have to do too much work to get it on your fork. And I'm going to be using some light Caesar. And I'm going to also be adding in some cheese. This doesn't matter at all, but this is a vegan mozzarella shreds. This is not a vegan meal by any means. It just happens to be the cheese that I have. And just to be extra, I'm going to add a little of this creamy chili honey sauce just to give it a bit of a kick. Just a little bit of that. And that is my fried chicken salad. Thanks for watching.